Let's get going. Anyway, I got some stuff to do today. We're gonna do some Jeep stuff, so stand by. What we're up to today is, oh, that was easy. I do not know what transmission and transfer case I have, and that will help me kind of figure out what we got to go and do on this guy and kind of what direction I'm going to take. As you can see, the transfer case is pretty loosey-goosey, so we're going to be taking this plate off. You can see that. It's probably out of the view, but somebody's been in here before. The transmission tunnel has been cut up near the front of the vehicle. I'll grab another camera and see if I can get that, but we're going to remove this access plate and maybe clean up a little something over here. And oops, I got runaway bolts. Throw that down there, that down there. But somebody has very obviously been in here before us. And in time, so the guy that I bought the Jeep parts from either last week or the week before, super cool guy. I think I mentioned he has a earlier 70s model Jeep, and he was parting out a 79 or 80 CJ5. Not much holding that guy on. As you can see, I don't know if this has been cracked. It looks like it's been hacked. You can see the cracks up near the front there. And our transmission's super dirty. But you may not be able to see it down in there, but this is kind of unacceptably sloppy. So I'm going to be messing with that today. And we may actually go to a twin stick in the future, just because I like that idea. And I've never had a vehicle that you could do that with, so follow along. But today's just going to be identifying and vacuuming up some Durbus here out of the vehicle. As you can see, and all the videos you've watched, I've never once cleaned this thing out. It's just, it's got dirt and debris. As you can see, it's not rusty. You know, the only rust in this entire vehicle is right here, where it's been crinkled. As much as possible. I may have to go underneath here and see kind of what we got going on. Transmission now. There's something up there. I did a little scouting mission today, little quick video. In talking to the dude that I bought the other Jeep parts from, there's a couple different transmission and transfer case options in this car. It has a weird transmission for this. I don't know that it's original. The, I guess, transmission tunnel shows some signs that other people have been in there before, whether they just put a clutch in it or whether they replaced the whole thing. However, I'm very interested to find out if this has what I suspect is a Dana, I think it's called a Dana 20, and it has a Borg-Warner transmission, so, well, as you'll have seen, but I just wanted to do a little bit of research. Plans are in the works for this guy. Obviously not a restoration project, but do I make it kind of a rat rod thing? I've resisted the temptation of buying like new hood, new fenders, all that stuff's pretty readily available. It needs a new core support too. So do I do that, or do I just chop the fenders, put some big tires, and kind of go to town? Which is a possibility at this point. You know, I don't really need a hardcore off-road rig. However, this is a pretty darn good starting point. You know, it has the manual transmission with the granny low. It has what appears to be maybe a Dana 20 transfer case, which would be pretty cool. It's beat, but it's not rusty, which is kind of unusual. So it would make a pretty good platform. Frame's solid, no rust. I mean, surface rust, that sort of thing. I vacuumed about 30 pounds of dirt out from underneath it. Anyway, let me go inside and start Googling some stuff. I found a couple tags by chance, and so I'm gonna text some pictures around to see if somebody knows what what I've got. I mean, if it's junk, then whatever. I mean, it runs and drives, that's fine. But is it a good basis for a hardcore off-road rig? It currently has the AMC 20 rear end, which, if you're familiar with these Jeeps, is actually a pretty solid unit, even in stock form. It's not locked that I'm aware of. Anyway, Jeep went with that over Dana 44s because, in their opinion, again, their opinion, not necessarily mine, the AMC 20 was a stronger out-of-the-box rear end than a Dana 44. It has a Dana 30, which in my experience is a hugely underrated rig. And when I say hardcore four-wheeling, I mean probably harder core than I do. But I think if this has the drivetrain I suspect it does, then we're probably looking at a 35-inch tire, 35 1250, and I'll bring you along for that. My plan is, if I do go with for me, a big tire type build, it is probably going to require some sawzalling or die grinding, or whatever you want to call it, because I'm not a big lift guy. I want to keep the center of gravity as low as possible, so it'll be stock height or barely lifted in any configuration I make up. Or do I find some old 235 75 15s or some 31 1050s and go that route? So we'll see. It's super low geared, so my expectation is it actually would go pretty well with a bigger tire size, just because from the factory it's very obviously got some very low gears in it. Sorry, I got distracted. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I enjoyed making it. Just a quick trip into the shop this afternoon, and just an update on the CJ5 project. But it's coming along, slow but sure. The part of the problem is I enjoy driving it more than I enjoy working on it. So I do like to take little tools around the neighborhood, and when I do get it out, so it's a fun rig. So with that, I hope you have a good week. I hope you are successful at whatever you're doing. So enjoy, and I appreciate you watching. Thank you. Let's go. kind of picked up some junk from the tank. Anyway, that's the bonus footage.